Now, U.S. President Joe Biden has formally ordered an end to travel restrictions on 8 southern African countries. The ban was imposed last month to slow the spread of the Omicron variant. For reaction on this, I'm joined by health journalist Lopez Gonzalez to give us a bit more. Laura, very good morning to you. Thank you so much for your time. Joe Biden has decided that this is no longer necessary. What's your take on this decision?
Right. I think certainly the travel bans were very controversial. We know from extensive sort of studies and many international experts agree travel bans do not stop the spread of disease. Certainly, when the travel ban was declared, there was already cases of Omicron that were being detected in the United States. I know of one case in particular, a person who had recently returned from South Africa, and actually it was because South Africa came forward and shared that information that person, in this case a person in California, was able to come forward to public health authorities and say, listen, I've just returned, let me get screened. So I think, I don't know how much time really the travel ban bought the U.S., considering that there were already reported cases in the U.S., there was reported cases in Europe, even cases where there was no previous record of travel to southern Africa. But I think a lot of people will be relieved to hear this. Travel bans not only, cause difficulties for people who would like to see family, for instance, in the U.S., but really can wreak havoc on that global supply chain. It's a lot of people concerned and scurrying to figure out what it would mean for vaccine deliveries on the continent. Certainly scientists in South Africa and across the continent reported delays in getting the kind of reagents they needed to do the tests to track the virus. So really a counterproductive measure, but I think one that many people are going to be very glad and relieved to hear is passed.
What have scientific experts had to say about some of the reasons why the travel ban was lifted, and perhaps the influential factors that led President Joe Biden to this decision?
Right. I think if the Biden administration's rationale was to try to prevent the spread of Omicron, I think that country, that moment is really past, right? So that country dealing with Omicron, that country also dealing with Delta. So that rationale for trying to, stave off cases or to sort of delay really what was sort of their aim has kind of passed. And I think it's, part of this kind of move to figure out what Omicron means for all of us, but also to sort of start living, I think, with the virus a little bit better. I think that's what you're sort of starting to see in some of the CDC recommendations, controversially so, that came out this week from the U.S. Centers for Disease Control about isolation. But I think that moment that they were trying to sort of delay the introduction of Omicron has passed. And so there was many international experts really took a hard line on saying that these travel bans never should have happened, that they break international laws, actually. But for whatever rationale that the Biden administration had, I think that time has passed. And so certainly I think that this is a smart move by the administration.
Thank you so much. We're going to have to leave it there for now. Laura Lopez Gonzalez, health journalist, giving us some reaction there following this decision on the ban being lifted, which now allows for travel to the U.S. and other countries, allowing South Africa and other countries to travel.